Hello there, Sox fans. Let's catch up on some White Sox baseball. We're going to look back at the month of June. I was trying to get this video out earlier today, but I'm recording it as a game is going on currently in Anaheim, so I haven't seen any of this yet. No spoilers. I'll be jumping right into it as I edit this. But Michael Kopech is going tonight, and he has been so much fun to watch this season as a whole. As always, this is the place to make your picks to click for the month of July. We will take a look at July, but first we'll take a look back at June. Again, I'm posting this kind of late on the 29th, so that gives you a pretty short turnaround. So I'll give you guys a grace period of a couple of days into the San Francisco series. It's always fun to see the White Sox play in San Fran. But to get that first home run pick, you need to actually make that pick before the first home run of the month happens. So I know I'm giving you a small window. If you miss it because you didn't see the video in time, I'll still give you a participation point, but do try to catch these videos, hit the bell, all that jazz. You know how to see YouTube videos to try to get your picks in. Let's go and take a look at June's numbers, but just food for thought. Think about this right now. No, you don't have to comment. There's no contest here. Just try to think, who do you think got the most hits in the month of June? Who do you think got the most doubles, home runs, RBI? Who do you think the most valuable pitcher and batter was? Because we're going to take a look at those stats now, and there's some surprises. There always are some surprises. I'm going to make my picks right now. I'm surprising myself because I always forget, and then I have to put it at the end of the video or in the comments because I always forget to get to my own picks. So last month, I picked Andrew Vaughn, and he had a pretty good month. I'm going to go for what I wish to be true. This might not be the smartest pick. It's a little bit risky. But if the White Sox really accelerate, we need Yoan Moncada to come through. He was just starting to do well, and he went back on the injured list, came back off, and was impressive in his first game back. And no offense to Jake Burger. I'm a huge Jake Burger fan. But Yoan Moncada's defense tops his easily. Yoan Moncada has a great glove, and as long as his bat is coming through, then he is a guy that could potentially be a team leader. I am picking Yoan Moncada. For first home run of the month, it seems to be a random thing. I mean, that's why I picked this, because it's an unpredictable thing. I picked Jose Abreu last month, and like before, you can't pick the same person month to month. But I picked Jose Abreu, but it was AJ Pollock that got it. Oh my gosh, do I want to go with Josh Harrison? He's been kind of on fire lately, but he's still not a home run threat, really. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to go out there because I don't think he has one yet. Seby Zavala. Seby's been getting more playing time. He has looked really strong, really good with the bat. It's been a lot of fun to watch him play. He looks like a different player than we've seen in the past. So Seby Zavala is so I'm going out there, man. My pick for first home run. And then Lance Lynn is my pick. And this one's a gamble also. Lance Lynn is very, very good. However, he gets left in the game too long. He gets left in the game so long that a good start becomes a bad start. So that's my gamble, is that I know Lynn will have the stuff, but will he be used correctly? And maybe I'm going to complain about that a little bit more by the end of this. But we're going to go into stats first. So there we go. Zavala, first home run. Lance Lynn, starting pitcher of the month. So do make your comments, make your predictions in the comments below. I'm going to make this a faster video than last month. I wanted to kind of make up for the fact that I'm not doing videos as frequently as before. And I did a super long video, and I don't know if people even watch that. So we'll just cut to it. Most hits. The team leader. So again, up to June 28th, Andrew Vaughn. 34 hits. Right behind him, though, Jose Abreu with 33, and Luis also had 33. Then a bit of a drop-off. AJ Pollock, 25. Jake Burger, 20. Jake was on fire, and he was a team leader for about a week and a half there. It's so wild when a guy can be so locked in, and just the ball must have looked like a beach ball because he was just pounding everything. He's fallen off a bit. It's expected. That was superhuman what he was doing for a while there. But thank goodness for him. Josh Harrison is next, along with Danny Mendick, 19. Obviously, don't pick Danny Mendick. He is gone for the year now, unfortunately, with that torn ACL. And here we have Moncada and Leury Garcia with 13 apiece. And that, of course, was with Yoan. Actually, Leury, he never hit the injured list, but he was injured for a while and just kind of riding the bench. Reese McGuire with 12, Seby Zavala with 11. We'll just stick to the double digits, guys, here. Doubles, your team leader was Jose Abreu with 7 apiece, coming from Jake Burger, Andrew Vaughn, Luis Robert, AJ Pollock, and 4 for Seby Zavala. Gavin Sheets is back, and Gavin Sheets is a really good pick for first home run. He has not hit a homer since coming back. For all I know, he's hit 3 today, and I haven't caught it yet. But, oh man, I'm kind of tempted to switch, but I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to stick with Zavala. It's a riskier pick. I'm going for it. There's no money on the line. This is just for fun. But I do think Gavin Sheets is a really interesting pick for first home run in July. Of course, Luis is always a good pick. So I'll keep home runs mysterious, starting from the bottom, going up. Moncada, Zavala. Oh, so Zevi does have one. Andrew Vaughn and Gavin Sheets all have one home run in the month of June. Surprising that Vaughn, with all those hits, his 34 hits, only one was a home run. 2 apiece for AJ Pollock, Luis, and Danny Mendick, and Josh Harrison. And then 4, our big sluggers, Jose Abreu and Jake Burger. Runs batted in, Luis runs away with it with 21, 15 for Abreu, 13 apiece for AJ Pollock and Jake Burger. Pollock is quietly having a really nice season with the bat. Andrew Vaughn next with 11. 10 apiece for Harrison, Mendick, and Moncada in very limited time there. You see, Moncada was only in 15 games, yet he drove in 10 runs. I always like to talk about steals. Steals are exciting, and the White Sox are exceptionally good this season added. I think they're, 31 out of 33, so only thrown out twice. Luis had 5, Adam Engel with 3. Engel, again, another guy on the injured list. He had, I think it was a hamstring tweak. He is out. We don't exactly know how long he'll be lost for. Tim Anderson with 2. Of course, you see he only appeared in 7 games in the month of June, missed almost all of it. And of his 9 hits, all of them were singles so far. But hey, we're just happy to have him back. He is still hitting the ball, not with authority, but he's getting on base, which is what we need him to do. He's looked good running. He's looked great in the field. So we're happy for anything just to have Tim back on the team. Batting average. I'm going to do this one in reverse as well because it's a bit unexpected as we see who is leading the entire team in the month of June when it comes to batting average. And I wanted to start a little bit higher up the list. However, I do want to give a shout out to Lenyn Sosa. It was awesome to see a future White Sox make his big league debut, get his first major league hit. Struggled a little bit at the plate, but it was a very, very small sample size, and he's, only 21, 22 years old. So really excellent that we have that depth in the minor leagues. Our minor leagues is not at all celebrated. It's kind of looked down on that we've got one of the worst in baseball, but we still have highlight players. Maybe we don't have the great teams overall, but we have individual players that are still very good with big upside and potential big league players. And Sosa here, it's weird to see Sosa on the back of a White Sox jersey again for the first time since 1990, 91, whenever Sammy Sosa was traded away. But let's start it with, they're so close. We'll go AJ Pollock in 11th place with a 269 batting average. Not bad. And we think 269 is good for the 11th best batting average on your team. The offense is finally coming around. We just need to still win games because just because the offense is here, as we all know, it doesn't mean we're going to win. We have lost some games where we've scored a lot of runs. It's so weird. We can lose 1-0 or we can lose 11-10. I don't know what's going on right now. But anyway, Jake Burger, 270. Tim Anderson, again, limited sample, but 281, tied with Gavin Sheets. That's a little bit surprising. There is Danny Mendick, a collision in the field. He tore his ACL and is gone for the rest of the year, which is a very unfortunate way to lose him because he was really helping the team out while filling in for Tim Anderson. Seby Zavala just 1/1000th of a point ahead of him, 289 batting average. And then Yasmani. He's been gone for a while with lower back spasms, and there's no return date in sight. So I would say don't pick Yasmani for any of your picks this month. But still, in his limited playing time, he tied Luis with a 308 batting average. Again, just as he was finally coming out of it, starting to look better at the plate, then he goes down with injury. Jose Abreu, 3rd place. Very nice with a 320 batting average. Barely edging him out is Andrew Vaughn, batting 324, and blowing them all out of the water, Mr. Josh Harrison with a 345 batting average. Among his 15 hits, double, triple, and 2 home runs. You might be able to make some guesses already. You've seen a lot of the other numbers who led the way in on-base plus slugging, and that is Jose Abreu, over 900. We always want to see, in my opinion, you always want to see your most productive hitters batting over 800. We had Jose Abreu and Josh Harrison both batting over 900. Jake Burger in the upper 800s. And Gavin Sheets also at 830. Andrew Vaughn, could he make the All-Star team this year? He might be a fringe player, might be tough, but an 800 on-base plus slugging in the month of June is definitely a good start. I would love to see him get some more support out there as far as voting is concerned. Sebi Zavala, 774. Luis is surprisingly low at a 760. However, he slumped for a big chunk of the middle of the month. He really does seem to be putting it together now. Moncada, small sample, 682. He's coming around. I love that he came back from injury and was immediately in the lineup, played a full game, and looked really good the whole time. Tim Anderson down there at 605. That's because Tim doesn't walk too much. He walked a bit more than normal lately, but he's not getting those extra base hits, and that really pumps up your on-base plus slugging. And Leury Garcia, I like to root for this guy because he is kind of that undervalued, underdog type of player. He provides a lot of value to the team, and it seems like he's been getting a lot of extra multi-hit games, I should say. But as you see, when you put it all together, for the month at least, 496 on-base plus slugging, that is terribly low. Just a 210 batting average. I love for Garcia to be the guy that comes out, and if he's got to fill in for injury, which he does a lot lately, that's totally fine. If he needs to come in to give a guy a day off, that's fine too. I would really love to see an outfield right now. AJ Pollock in left, Luis Robert in center, Andrew Vaughn in right, with Gavin Sheets at designated hitter. Of course, Jose starting. Jake Berger maybe getting some designated hitter time. Our infield should every single day, in my opinion, be Moncada, Tim, Josh Harrison, and Abreu. I don't think there's room right now for Leury Garcia to get regular playing time other than if he's giving a guy a day off. I don't want to see him in a lineup every single day when I tune in. He can get a couple starts a week just fine. Not every day. He's getting too much time as far as I'm concerned. Especially now that this many players are back, there's no need for him to be getting this much regular playing time. Let's take a quick look at pitching, and we're going to look at everything all at once. We are just looking at the guys that have gotten multiple starts in the month of June. So that is Dylan Cease, Johnny Cueto, Michael Kopech, and Lucas Giolito all had 5 starts. Lance Lynn had 3, and of course, that's our starting 5. We didn't start the season this way. Johnny Cueto has been a godsend. I was tempted to pick him as my pitching pick to click for the month, but really just want to go with Lance Lynn. It's so exciting to have him back, have a third fearful starter. He doesn't pitch with fear, but he strikes fear in the hearts of his eventual victims. And do have to give a shout out also to Ronaldo Lopez. He has done exceptionally well. Do have to give a shout out to Ronaldo Lopez as well. He has done exceptionally well over the course of the entire season. For the month, though, he's only got a 4.50 ERA. But look at those strikeouts per 9, 13.5 strikeouts per 9. And look at those ERA estimators. FIP at just a 114, XFIP at 211. Those are fielding independent pitching numbers. Those are, again, basically ERA estimators that his surrounding stats, his peripheral stats, should support a number at around 1 or 2 on the month. He's been very unlucky is basically what that means. But again, getting back to our main starters, when you look at record, and we know record doesn't really mean that much because a bullpen could blow a game. You could give up a lot of runs on a day that your offense helps you out. But still, we're going to take a quick look. Dylan Cease went 2-1, Cueto 2-3, Kopech 1-3, Giolito 1-2, and Lance Lynn 1-1. A pretty bad sign when only one of your 5 starters has a winning record on the month, and it's only by 1 game. Dylan Cease going 2-1. Of course, like I said, as I record this, Kopech is on the mound, but he's 1-3 on the month coming in, so he's definitely not going to get 2 wins today. When you look at workload, the pitchers have been getting their innings in. Johnny Cueto, like I said, he's been a godsend. When his 5 starts and 1 relief appearance, and that is the time when he relieved Michael Kopech, who left the game, I think, after 1 out, maybe. So it was kind of like a 6th start. 35 innings pitched for him, 27 for Cease. The thing that's been getting in Cease's way is that he strikes out so many people, it makes his pitch count go up. He really did do a better job putting it together, getting the strikeouts, but getting more contact and getting deeper into the game just a couple days ago in Anaheim. That is something that has limited how many innings he's been able to throw, as he just throws so many pitches, getting all of those strikeouts. As you see, strikeouts per 9, almost 15. That is a ton. Last I looked, he was this number 2, the pitcher with the 2nd most strikeouts in all of baseball. So, I mean, he's got great swing and miss stuff, deceptive stuff, but it would be great if he can maybe strike out a few fewer guys and go deeper into a game. But overall, our starting 5 right now is looking solid as long as always, stay healthy. Lucas Giolito definitely had a rough month overall. As you see, he led the way in a bad way, 2 1/3 home runs allowed per 9 innings. That's a bunch. There might be some misfortune there, but not enough to really bring it all the way down. As you see, his ERA in the month was 7.67. tremendously high. His ERA predictors, FIP, xFIP, lower, 602, 483, but those still aren't good numbers. And overall, you see his WAR is a negative 0.2. Just realized I forgot to look at offensive WAR, so we will take a look at that. Meanwhile, Johnny Cueto, really solid. Let's take a look at ERAs now, as we brought that up, as we saw Giolito, 767, Lance Lynn, 619, but that's complete nonsense. Shouldn't say it's nonsense. It is unfortunate. It's bad usage. And you see his ERA predictors, 439 and 333. So he was a bit unlucky on top of being mismanaged. So he really pitched much better than his ERA indicates. Michael Kopech, surprisingly high, 5.23 ERA. I believe he also had a game where he was left in too long. His ERA indicators actually say that he should be probably around that number, 5.23. Johnny Cueto, 382. How excellent is that? Again, talk about found money. A guy that was not supposed to be on the team, a guy that was just an afterthought flyer. Vince Velasquez was supposed to be our number 6 starter after Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel obviously gets cut. Velasquez, we lose him to injury for a bit. He's back with the team. It's nice to have that depth. But Johnny Cueto has really come in and, for the time being at least, cemented himself as our number 5 starter. And then Dylan Cease, godlike. 0.33 ERA on the month. He should win. I haven't looked around the league, but I would not be surprised. I would love to see him win American League Pitcher of the Month for the month of June. And this is, obviously his ERA indicators have to say that he was lucky, because he can't get much lower or even at 0.33. His FIP, 186, xFIP 213, both tremendously good Cy Young style numbers. Now, before we go on to anything else, take a look at the offensive WAR leaders, wins above replacement. It's looking like I'm piling on, not trying to. The only player that got regular playing time, meaning at least 15 games appeared in, which is Leury Garcia. He appeared in 18 games, but racked up a negative 0.3 WAR, which means he was worse than a league average player. And then we'll go up. We'll skip ahead to the top here. Jake Burger was a 0.5, Danny Mendick 0.6, Josh Harrison 0.7, Luis 0.8, and Jose Abreu 1.2. Quietly had a great month. He must have hit those home runs at the beginning of the month, because to me it feels like it's been a while since I've seen him rocket one out of there. It feels like other players have been leading the team. Jose has been dealing with some injuries as well. He had something wrong with his hip. We don't exactly know what it was. He never went on the injured list. He played through it, which was kind of amazing and scary to see him hobbling around the bases, but he's running well now, so we'll take it. I want to thank everybody that has submitted questions for the White Sox Shorts videos. Please do continue submitting those. I'll self-film and post them. One of the questions that was asked a while ago was, do I still think the White Sox will make the playoffs? And when I answered that, it was an easy yes. Now, well, let's see what Baseball Prospectus has to say. So right now, as it stands, again, as of the daytime of June 29th, the White Sox are listed at a 41% chance to make the playoffs, meaning that they'll probably just miss it, based on the predictions of Baseball Prospectus. As it stands, the wildcard teams would all come out of the East: Toronto, Boston, and Tampa Bay, all with better than 50% chances. The White Sox still somehow have a better chance than Cleveland, who the White Sox are chasing in the standings. I'm not giving up on this team, but it is, the White Sox need to put together a very strong run. They have most of the health there to do it now. You just have to manage right, put out the right lineups. These numbers are changing all the time. Do I think the White Sox only have a 41% chance? I would give them maybe slightly better odds. I want to say 50-50 right now, because yes, they have to overcome a number of teams. I do want to say that I think our best chances of making the playoffs is winning the AL Central. The Twins are still playing good baseball. They've come down to earth a bit, but they're still playing very good baseball. I don't know what to make of the Guardians. I think they just got hot for a while there. I always have to give them respect because they're a major league team with some really great players on it, but I don't feel like they have a rounded out team. And I think I'm going to leave it there. Go ahead and make your picks for the month of July. I look forward to watching a full 31 days of just great baseball. We will again do a trade deadline countdown, which, by the way, this year is on, I think it's August 2nd. So we'll do that in early August. It used to be always on the 31st, but moving around a little bit lately. So we'll do a live stream then to count down to the trade deadline, see what happens. We'll be talking all of baseball, the entire league. Make your picks. Don't forget to give me more questions to answer on the White Sox Shorts videos. But until I see you next, play ball and go Sox.